Dark so long I cannot find the meaning. Hold my hand, let me stay by your side through this never-ending night. I can feel it now, it haunts me. All these demons, how they surround me. In this red light, it calls me. He is reaching out, consuming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tyrant of the Dark Star. Welcome back to the start of Season 2. It's been a wild ride. I'm Aubrey. I'll introduce my cast, who they're playing, and then we'll get rolling into things.
Hi, my name's Aki. Pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Gravewing, who is our monk kinesist. That's it. That's all you get to know about her. Oh, also uses she, her pronouns.
Hi, y'all. I'm Alyssa. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Laeth, our Dampier, dandy, and rogue who uses she, any pronouns.
It's me. Hello, I'm Dusty. I use they, he pronouns, and I'm playing Eurideux. Just Eurideux for now. They also use they, he pronouns, and they are going to be our blood hunter.
Hello, I am Farris. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Alouette, the Nephilim, I think is what they're called now, thaumaturge, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Hello, I am Sparlock. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Alistair Whiskerfield, the renowned wizard and investigator who uses he, him pronouns also.
Hi, I'm Tick. I use he, she, they pronouns, and today I'll be playing Nihil, a wonderful flesh warp sorcerer who is definitely not a cannibal at all. Why do you even think that?
And now, before we get to whatever Season 2 is going to have in store, I guess resident Farris, you will be the resident recap person because Tick was not here last time.
Ah, so true. All right. So last time, I didn't mute. Okay, good. So last time was the second half of our epic boss battle at the end of Season 1, which was terrible because Laeth went down immediately. Everyone was getting attacked horribly. There was a lot of nightmarish things that happened. But then the brute got killed, the Raven Mother went down, and things were finally working out. Yuri killed a bunch of ghouls, and Lou managed to freeze Talus to death on his last hit point after Yuri technically already killed him. But he managed to bring himself back up to 1, which was just rude, frankly. And then everybody were like, this is fine and normal and cool. And Akos was like, hey, I need to borrow your little rat friend immediately. And no, it's not a negotiation. So we all trooped to the wizard tower. Could not figure out why we needed Akos there. Why we needed Alistair there. And turns out Alistair is like the heir to the wizard tower. Opened it up, no problem. Akos took an arm of the Scarlet Queen and basically said, hey, the world is ending in 7 months. My bad. Legitimately, my fault completely. However, I'm going to help you foil my own plot that my ex-friends are still carrying out. First step, get you all friends. We're going to make friends with the Scarlet Bond. Don't worry about it. They're cult. It's fine. It's normal. They can't bring back the Scarlet Queen with one arm. It's going to be fine. We all kind of decided it's 4 a.m. and we haven't slept since 2 days ago. So you know what? This can be tomorrow's problem. But basically, generally, most people seem to be on board with the overall plan. And Akko said we got to visit the Bloody Blades to get false papers so that we can walk through districts. Because, whoops, we're wanted criminals. Oops. But first off, bedtime.
Yes, first off, bedtime. You all head back to the Wollstonecraft Manor. Don't know if you ever want to rename that at any point.
Our manor.
Just kidding.
Nah, the
Our
Wollstonecraft
house.
Manor does go hard, especially because the bitch now knows that her home is not hers.
This is true.
She basically bequeathed it to us.
I know, but like now it's like, okay, we can be like, oh, this is the ancestral home of the Wollstonecrafts. Who's that? Who cares? It's just this is
Not any of us.
this is the best. This is the best way to occupy it.
Who cares? It's ours now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after so much, you all finally sleep. Your new friends will take watch as you all rest. They'll wake up some of you later for watches, but currently you're all very injured and very tired. You will collapse into bed. Sleep for a little while is nice. It's kind of like that dreamless sleep. And then at some point, you all find yourselves standing in what appears to be a throne room. It's hard to tell. There's a massive throne in front of you. You're unsure if everything is just sized for someone so much larger than you, or you've all just been shrunk down in size. On the throne is, best way to put it is a creature. It is a large humanoid-looking creature. One arm appears to be this swirling mass of tendrils. The other is long and sharp talons. It doesn't have a face that you can see. You can see an area where there should be a face, but there isn't one. It leans down and looks at all of you and says, "You aren't going to be able to stop me. No one can." And you all have a feeling that you are standing before the Tyrant for just a moment before you all wake up. It's late afternoon at this point.
Can we press the long rest button?
Yes,
Fuck yeah.
Doomed does go down after long rest, right?
it does. Yes.
Cool. Great. Love to see it. I'll also take away my fatigue. We stayed, I assume, at the manor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You all wake up in your respective rooms.
Oh yeah, I have room to myself.
You do. Hey, Lou, do you want to pull a hero card?
First thing upon waking up?
Oh, I just remembered it.
Yes, but she's also gonna wake up screaming a little bit.
Oh yeah, I
and
think
then-
there's several of you that will.
100% wakes up screaming. And to not think about that or the last night or like anything that happened in the last 2 days, yeah, she's gonna pull a hero card. This is how she's gonna cope.
Roll a d100.
So you're just gonna yell while I'm right there sleeping, huh?
You had the same dream. I don't know
you had
that,
the same
but
dream, then you woke up too.
we're gonna just not talk about anything ever.
Or maybe you thought it was schism, so you didn't wake up.
That's gonna be a 92.
A 92. The deck sort of hands you this card. The card flips off the top, and you find yourself staring at the Uprising. This is a chaotic neutral card of strength. It represents overwhelming strength that catches the subject up in something much more powerful.
Can I meant to say this first and I forgot, but it feels fitting, so maybe I'll do it now. Can I have like pulled the card with like a question in mind?
Yeah.
If you want me to re-roll, I will. But basically her question is this the best road to achieve her goals, or does she need to try a different path?
Yeah, and I think the answer still stands. It's the chaotic neutral card, so it acts like a bit like a hero, an extra hero point.
Fun.
From you, except rather than just rolling and taking the second one, you will always if you spend this card, you will roll and take the higher.
Advantage.
Yes.
Advantage, my beloved. I've missed you. Marvelous. Since she's drawing cards anyway, she's going to draw a second one because I think she had an idea from something she saw in one of the books from the tarot shop when she was just leafing through it. And it's just kind of been percolating in her brain since. And she doesn't know. She doesn't know if it's going to work. It's going to work because it's a mechanical feature. It's the feat I just took. But she doesn't know who to apply it to. So she's going to draw a hero card to decide.
Yeah. Give me another D100 roll.
That's going to be 90 on the dot.
90.
Just living in the 90s.
You pull the Empty Throne. It is a lawful good card of charisma. It represents those who are gone or a ghost of the past that has taught important lessons.
She's going to pick up the card, leaf through the book to see what it means, close the book, stare at the card, throw it at the wall,
Sticks
call
in the
it
wall.
back, shakes the deck a little bit. And then I think she like draws again and probably gets the same card and then shakes the deck again. And then puts it away because it's a very clear answer to her. And she just didn't like it.
Stop throwing cards.
It's quiet at least. It's a silent activity.
You also screamed. I'm just gonna poke my head out like you screamed and also stop throwing cards around.
Good morning to you too.
Wow. I don't think it's a good morning after that. Did you have a bad dream or something?
No.
Oh, because I did.
That sucks. Was it nightmarish, and was it about like horrible people on terrible thrones and the most horrendous thing you've ever seen in your life threatening you?
Second most horrendous thing I've seen in my life.
Weird. I can't imagine a dream like that.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't have such a bad dream. That's definitely why you didn't wake up screaming at the top of your lungs in fear.
Okay, I'm going to go now.
I need to go cook breakfast for everyone. We have extra guests. Oh, jeez, we have extra guests. Okay.
Did they come back with us?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Wait, where did they sleep?
They were, setting up essentially in
Sleeping
the sitting
bags.
room, essentially.
Hold on.
Akos is also here as well because Akos said they were leaving after they slept.
Oh my gosh. Cool. No, that's fine and normal. Okay, cool.
Laeth and Alistair, can you please roll me fortitude saves?
I don't know why I would have to roll a fortitude save. I wasn't stabbed with anything evil. Nat
Here
20.
we go.
Which is good because my fortitude is only +5, so a 25.
Hey, I also got a 25, but with a 17 instead.
Okay. Yeah, you both kind of feel a little cruddy as you wake up, but Laeth, you managed to shake off filth fever, and Alistair, you're no longer suffering from the effects of ghoul fever.
There goes re-rolling a character. Shame.
Nah!
You
I'm just
critically
kidding.
succeeded at it.
Yeah.
Did I get called?
I have a question for the DM because I'm still not very good at artificer stuff. So what do I do to do I have like a limited amount of supplies for reagents and stuff like that? Like how does it work if I want to craft stuff as an artificer?
As an alchemist?
As an alchemist, yes, that is correct. That is the right class.
Your thing is limited to your intelligence modifier +2 plus your level. Yes, your intelligence modifier plus your level.
So that's how much total.
That is yours. But also, if you want to do just general alchemical crafting, that is a different thing and requires a roll.
I want to do my known formula stuff. So,
you want to use your infused reagents.
Yes. Does that get refreshed every day, or is that like a limited supply I have to? Okay.
They refresh every day at the top of the day, but also you can save them for at any point during the day because you have quick alchemy now, so you can spend an action at any point during combat to just make something.
Mm-hmm. I do want to make like one health potion is the thing while I'm making breakfast, just in case.
Yeah, you just essentially, decide I'm going to spend one of my infused reagents on the elixir of life miner, and you have one elixir of life miner.
Yeah, okay. I'm kind of getting it. I'm learning bit by bit. Can I also make everyone breakfast? Do I have the crafter's lens to help me with that?
Yes, the crafter's eyepiece is a thing, and if you would have taken it, you have it.
Yes, please, everyone. Unless someone else wants it, I'm asking this while holding a knife to your throat.
A kitchen knife that you can see really good because you're wearing that eyepiece.
Yeah, I'll take off the night goggles and I'll put on the crafter's eyepiece, and I will cook everyone a nice breakfast.
Crafting roll.
Yay, and I get a +1 from the item and the +1 from my thingamajigger. So that is a pretty high modifier. Yippee. Okay, someone cooked here. That is a 26.
26? Yeah, you're able to make enough food for everyone. You're cooking for 3 extra people today.
But is it tasty?
Yeah, as much as like what you have. You don't have anything more than you had yesterday.
This is some really good shitty rations. And I will serve the dishes to everyone as they're kind of waking up.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair will get up last and will wake up in a pile of books. He tried not to sleep, but the fatigue took him eventually.
Very quickly, because you were at fatigue level 2.
But I made an effort.
Oh yeah. And Akko says that they will be leaving after they've eaten. They have everything they need packed.
So first of all, did Gravewing sleep in her snaky form?
I think yes. I think we're like really sore and she needs to stretch. And so like I think we were going to have a talk and then we were just so fucking exhausted walking all the way back and we just fucking flopped. We maybe like took off our shoes and flopped. So yeah. I might be in like full snaky form, which means that the no homo pillow wall has been toppled over and you are probably full of homo.
Always. Laeth is good at untangling herself from other bodies in bed, so she does that very carefully and quietly and gently. And I would like to track down Akos before he leaves, please.
Yeah, you do that. He, after finishing breakfast, Akos goes to finish packing everything on his Hesterhunder.
Yeah, I think Laeth, not aggressively, but curiously, sort of corners him a little bit and asks, "So, was my mother part of your faction, or was she staying loyal to her tyrant?"
I mean, the Unbroken served the tyrant. I honestly unsure on that one. It kind of seems like things have splintered more since I was deposed.
Not as helpful as I was hoping, but thank you.
I certainly found her rather an annoyance, and if you hadn't killed her, I probably would have done it at some point.
Well, you wanting her dead, maybe that's good enough to try and get an end back, but...
I think they'll just miss her money.
Oh, God, I don't have access to that either, I'm sure.
I believe it is defaulted to your sister. But unfortunately, she needs to come back to the city to claim it.
Maybe we can work with that. All right. She won't. She's not. I'm not going to let her come back into this. But that's good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and she will leave him be. I think Laeth was hoping that her mother had sort of sided with Akos so that being her killer could give Laeth some sort of in with the rest of the Unbroken, but as far as we know, that's not the case. So, no new leads there.
To be fair, Akos was deposed after she died, so...
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah. Well, so eventually breakfast is eaten and you all are summoned to the library by Connix and Lena. They have laid out a map of the city. And in it, they've already kind of marked some points of interest. They marked in Starlight Bastion, they've marked the mansion, and they've marked where the clock tower is with little pins. And this is where we're going to get into rebellion rules. Kind of adapted a little bit of the rules from first edition with my own spin, as well as thank you to Find the Path, who did a lot of conversion, and I adapted it from theirs. I simplified it even further. So the big thing is all of you are going to have a role in this rebellion. We've kind of all gone through and figured out what those roles are. I'm going to let everybody go around and say the role that you will be taking on and the skills that they use. And then we'll get into sort of like how this is going to work.
I'll go first. I think it was very fitting that as Eurideux, I'm going to be the firebrand, which is kind of just going out and causing ruckus, right? Just being a problem on purpose for everyone.
And essentially like having squads whose entire job is to cause problems.
Yeah, that's very much Yuri's MO generally, so.
Mm-hmm. Because it's less of you going out and doing these things that your role is, and more of controlling groups that go out and do it for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go next then.
Okay.
The fuck am I? I am I am the strategist. That is self-explanatory. Like the role explains what I'm doing. I
strategize.
I strategize. The strategist strategizes.
Everyone needs a home base. We know that. All these people are going to be going out, working hard, doing their stuff. Someone needs to take care of the home base. Someone needs to know how to survive, how to cook, how to craft. And that's where I, the quartermaster, comes in. I don't have to talk to anyone. I don't have to deal with shit. I just have to make sure the house is nice and clean for everyone, like the perfect house husband. And that is my job. I'm the quartermaster.
Alouette is the partisan, unless I'm misremembering, which is the one who builds alliances and is a diplomat, which sort of makes sense.
Laeth is the spy master using stealth and deception, which is the one who builds alliances and is the diplomat, but from the shadows.
And last but not least, Alistair spends a lot of time in bars weaving conspiracy theories as our recruiter, convincing people to join our cause against the evil people who rule us and are trying to destroy our world and way of life.
Yeah. So the big way that this is going to work is I'm going to be keeping a lot closer look at like the calendar. Days are very important in this, especially since you only have 7 months to stop this. It is the 19th of Savwin, and essentially on Moon Day, the first day of the week, each week, you will have your rebellion phase. During that time, you will sit down and you have teams. Currently, your only team is Connix and Lena. You can send them out to do missions. Essentially, it is like the war table from Dragon Age Inquisition. For anybody who's curious, they each team will be very specific about what they can do. Connix and Lena are very good at stealth. So someone like a spy master would probably work really well with them. And they would do really well on more stealthy missions. The missions themselves, they vary a number. You can do, essentially you have 3 actions you can do a week. So you can send 3 teams out to do 3 different missions. Currently, only have 1 team, so you only have 1 mission you can do. Currently, you have information. You can send somebody out to gather information. You can send somebody out for money or supplies. They can do like mercenary work, or they can go gather supplies. You can set something, if you are like about to do a mission yourselves, you can use one of your groups to set something up for you. Say you need to infiltrate a building. You can send one of your groups in to possibly either open a door for you or maybe get a key, depending. And you can recruit if you have like the space, essentially. You can recruit new teams. And you can also reduce threat. Threat is another stat that you will be keeping track of. Currently, your threat is at 0, simply because nobody knows who you are. You have not made a name for yourself. Your threat will go up through a various number of means. Failing missions will up your threat. Being spotted by guards and leaving bodies behind will also up your threat through various activities. Making yourself known and causing very obvious problems will also up your threat. And essentially at the end of your rebellion phase, someone will roll a dice, a D100. And essentially you are trying to roll below your, roll above your threat. And
that's me. So I'm rolling.
I will say it has to be somebody different each time. You cannot rely on Aki every time.
So we gotta make Tick roll first.
Do we?
Yes, because it needs to be above our threat level. If our threat level's 0, Tick goes first.
Okay.
Tick, Alyssa, the rest of y'all, me at the end. Tick, Alyssa, Sparlock and Alyssa are tied for some pretty bad rolls.
I mean, hypothetically, since Aubrey said it can't be the same person twice, Aubrey didn't say we all have to go. Therefore, I say we just go between me, Aki, Farris, Aki, Alyssa, Aki, Dusty, Aki's chat. We just keep going back to Aki,
I will say that it has to be, it can't be that you can't jump back between two people.
It's too late. It's too late.
We can't min-max this, y'all. We can't min-max.
You can't min-max.
Yes, we can. That's the point.
What is the limit on how many teams we can have?
It is based on currently your number of safe houses. Each safe house can generally hold 2 teams.
And we do not count as a team, or do we?
You do not count as a team.
Okay.
You will have your own actions that you do during the week as well. Essentially, this is your thing, and you will be able to do things during the week as well. And also, fun fact: if you ever get below your threat level, an Inquisition will start looking for you, and bad things will happen. You may lose teams. You may lose safe houses.
It's the way that Dusty was clapping when he heard an Inquisition is coming out.
Yeah.
You especially shouldn't be clapping.
What do you mean? I get to fuck people up.
The Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, I know, and I want to fuck them up.
Collapse.
But yeah, that is kind of, and reduced threat is also another option you can take during the week, especially if your threat ever gets a little too high. You have one team that you can decide what you want to do with. What would you like Lennox and Connix and Lena to work on during this week?
I mean, do we think we need setup before we meet with the Blades? I mean, we have 500 gold. I feel like that talks well enough.
I can get us a meeting with the Blades. No money needed.
What about information? That might be useful to have.
Maybe we should start with recruiting so that we can do multiple things. Have more people to divide up.
Well, Akos is already recruiting on our behalf, if I remember correctly.
Akos is recruiting, attempting to make a deal with a cult, a different cult, objectively a worse cult, considering that he is giving them an item that they need to form their super weapon. So I wouldn't consider that happening anytime soon.
Apologies, Aubrey. Do we
Mhm.
only get one action because we only have one team we can send out, or do we still get the 3 actions?
You currently have one team that you can send out, so you have one action. So I mean, if you
Okay.
want to recruit, is good, but also you can you will also sometimes get people through like things you do, like alliances you make in game will get you teams and things like that.
Oh,
Also, I'm not sure we can do recruiting right here, right now, where we
Yeah.
currently are, unless we're trying to get ghouls.
Oh, can
I
we
mean,
clear
they-
out that manor? The Talus household and send some people there?
I mean, if we could take control of it, it's a ton of space.
We would have to clean out so many bodies. We left a mess. That basement is disgusting.
So we recruit people and then send them over there to come up with their own space. Their first job can be sort of cleaning out the mansion.
We're not
We-
hiring the help.
I mean, if we need somewhere for them to go, that I would think the clock tower would be a viable location. If it
Oh.
has to be separate from here.
Here. I mean, we're safe. Has tunnels that goes through the city.
That is what I was thinking of, the tunnels.
Also, how wanted are we?
Individually? Or as a group?
I-
Both.
both.
As a group, I don't think we're noticed yet. Like, I don't think we are an identifiable threat. That doesn't necessarily mean go walk around the street looking like you do.
Individually, I think we're all very wanted, though.
I have been
Aubrey,
wanted. I've had a warrant out for my arrest for 20 years.
Aubrey, this is a kind of like a world building question. So, wanted bounties. How is this information distributed? Is it like One Piece where there's a wall of wanted posters with all of our names and faces
One
and
Piece?
that movement shit? Yeah.
Well, guard specifically, because you have, there's probably freelance bounty hunters. They're usually generally freelance hunters in general. But you can guess that the Holy Blood and the Coin Guard have probably all been given your descriptions because you would be people that would be considered missing from Cold Iron after they did counts and suppressed the riot.
So we can't just like send our team out to take all of our wanted posters off the walls. So they
Yeah,
don't
unfortunately.
not video game logic, I guess.
Yeah, not video game logic.
Okay.
This is an Assassin's Creed.
I was going to say that's
Fair.
Assassin's Creed.
We are all like freshly out of prison and have no idea what's going on. If we're not going to have them recruit for more actions, maybe we should go have them find information about the current state of affairs as it's evolved since the prison break.
Yes,
Not a bad
that
idea.
is a good idea, yes.
Especially like in character. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I want to go by my home. I don't know. I also don't want to get sent to jail on the way, so we can find out how it is. We could travel around safely.
And we can make a better plan for ongoing if we know more of what we are working with.
I have a question. Do we plan to build our little safe houses for our teams here? Because it might be good to find a place that will be better than Ghoul Town, the Ghoul place.
Well,
I think
we
Go ahead.
can't leave the district right now. They're doing identification checks until we have papers.
No, I mean, maybe in part of their investigation, what places are a bit not as good at checking papers or easier to infiltrate.
Mhm. Well,
I
it
think-
essentially is for information you can get like one thing. Do you want information about
Okay.
what's going on in the city, or do you want them to find places for?
Okay, if it's just one, I think what's going on in the city is more important.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you, God
yeah.
in the sky. Thank you, DM in the sky, for clarifying that
You're
for me.
welcome.
Because I'm just like, you can only get one answer. And I'm like, okay, thanks, bro. Definitely state of affairs is probably the best option for them to figure out while we get our artificial papers sorted.
Mhm. Yeah. So if are you who I'm guessing the spy master is going to
Yeah.
make the roll for this.
First rebellion roll. Oh my god.
Wait, sorry, is this a D20 or this is a D100?
D20. D20 and
D20.
add your relative stat.
Ooh, I think they're the same. Let me check. Oh, nope, I got extra in. Oh, no, they're the same. Okay. Aubrey, can we use hero points on our rebellion rolls?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Wow, fear. But fear. We just started.
Hey, Aubrey, can we add guidance to rebellion rolls?
No, you can't do that.
Dang. Just thought
Okay.
I'd ask.
I put my other dice in dice jail, and the die that has been serving me really well through season 1, I got another 20. So that is
That's how we
32.
go. That's how we go
Right,
for
right, right.
32. So that
Writing that
will
dice.
be a critical success because this uses the standard DC of your level, especially currently, because you are if your threat goes up, sometimes the DC will go up as well. So the big thing is you will learn about events that are happening, and you'll get more information. Essentially, it's going to take a little bit, so we'll get to the information you get in a bit. But another really great question is, all good rebellions need a name. All good secret agencies need a name. What is yours?
The
Man,
Whisker
don't-
Fields. Come on.
No. Listen, as long as it's not too long, I don't care.
I mean, we're facing down the Lamplighters, the church. We could be the schism, make them think that there's more of a break in their organized religion than they know.
Absolutely
that one.
not.
I like that
Absolutely
one.
not.
I really like that one.
That sounds really good.
You
Absolutely
literally just
not.
said you don't care.
I care specifically about that one. Absolutely not.
Okay, but
Why?
why though? Schism's like 5 letters. Like, do you need it to be shorter?
How about Skiz?
Mm.
That's shorter.
That
sounds
just
like a bunch of
That sounds like a
skaters.
slur.
It sounds like a slur. That sounded
So-
very slurry. Like,
I just don't think. Yeah, I don't think that name's very cool. Honestly, I think we should have something that's more epic and fitting of us. You know, I'm bluffing my ass off here. Like, but a schism in the back of my head, like, no, pick it.
Okay, well, I mean, if you don't want that, if you want to stick with that theme, you're going against the church, what they stand for, or whatever, right? It'd be Anathema.
Oh, that's pretty good.
not too
Even though I
long
do
for you.
think Schism was pretty good.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's not as good as the Whisker Fields, but I
I
can deal
don't
with
like
that
that one.
The
That
Whisker
sounds
Fields-
like we are a bard group.
Yes, it does have a circus feel to it.
The schism
But it
kind
is
of.
fun, but I don't know if we want to sound fun.
I think the schism feels more like we're going to be causing like damage of a rift, and anathema feels like we're going against something. You know, I think the anathema fits a lot better in terms of vibes. I will roll a deception check because I am like sweating and hiding information right now. Should I make a deception check, Aubrey?
Sure.
Yeah, because
I mean,
Nihil's like, oh my god, please guys, fucking stop. Can I use a hero point? Actually, no, I'm gonna keep that. It's a 12. It's funny if I'm just sweating bullets for no inconceivable reason.
Is this perception DC, or do we actually roll?
I don't think you need to roll with a fucking 12, but sure,
Yeah.
I guess.
You can roll, yeah.
Nihil is very uncomfortable with the name Schism. It's pretty obvious.
I mean, Anathema also does sound pretty bad, but let's be real. We're going to be causing problems. People are not going to like us initially, regardless. That's how this shit works.
May I ask a clarifying question as to our goals here? We are opposing the Lamplighter's, but that does not mean that we are opposing the gods, does it?
We're technically opposing one god.
Well, not, the Tyrant is not a god. It does not count. It is not
The Tyrant is
part of it.
considered a god to some.
Yeah, they're shitty though. They're low tier mid.
I meant like the
take
good
them in a
ones,
fight.
the real ones, the ones who were here before the Tyrant.
You don't even know what's been here before the Tyrant.
I go to temple. I know about the different
Do you
gods.
believe everything that the temple tells you? Come on. Look around you for like 5 minutes of actual introspection.
I don't know if you're arguing about religion or something else here. I'm not gonna lie. I am still very tired.
I am not even, it's not even an argument. It's more like maybe think a little.
If you are referring to corruption in the Lamplighters, okay, fine, I believe you. If you're talking about, I don't know, there is something horribly wrong with the Star Mother and she is not who we have believed her to be, then I don't know. Maybe I do disagree with that one.
I'm talking about the people who preach on the Star Mother's behalf.
I am sure there is corruption there. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
I just
that's what
meant
I'm
the
talking
gods
about.
themselves. Those are the ones I do not wish to go against.
Well, I don't think that's our goal, from my understanding.
I just wanted to ask, to be sure.
Well,
Religion aside, we're good with Anathema. Yeah,
religion aside.
that is a
it's
good
all
name, Yuri. Good job.
I still like the schism.
I just think back. Do you know how absolutely awkward that would be to explain, though? I think it's a really cool name. Don't get me wrong. But unfortunately, that would be so awkward. We can call it the schism in your heart, okay, dear?
Okay.
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 But while everyone is looking around, we have a lot of mouths to feed and only so many rations currently. Once we're done getting fake papers, I want to do some shopping with the funds and pick up some actual ingredients. I am not doing a very good job of feeding you all simply because a lot of the food here doesn't have the nutrients you need. Need some diversity and flavor, you know?
But yeah, for a bunch of you, a lot of your houses are on the other side of the river, in the richer districts of Malakad. So it is going to be a while before you get home.
What about me? What about me? I'm not rich.
You're not rich.
And I also need to go home.
Yes. Once you have fake papers, it'll be a lot easier.
You can get to Darklight. I can set up a meeting with the Bloody Blades.
Okay.
And Connix will speak up and say, Lena and I know of more smuggler tunnels around the city. We can get you from here over into Darklight Bazaar. You're just gonna be careful once you get there.
It's a good start. Do we think we plan to try to do this today, or?
Well, how are most of you feeling? Because, not gonna lie, you looked like shit.
I mean, I still look like shit, to be fair.
You look better than yesterday's shit.
Yeah.
None of y'all contracted anything?
No,
I feel better, but could use a couple of days of relaxing in a wizard tower.
Right, what's that about?
I don't know. I need to know more. I tried reading as much as I could last night, but I fell asleep, and it was all just random books on magic.
Okay.
Like, I think I had like a great uncle or something who was a wizard at some point.
Your grunkle mage.
Fascinating.
Mm.
I mean, I could work. I could do stuff today. Just need to bandage some things up. How about the rest of you?
I'm pretty good actually.
It is moving into late afternoon, early evening by this point because you slept through most of the day.
Mhm.
Actually, has anyone gone outside or over watches noticed the ghouls? Are they still moving in formation here?
You two Connox will speak up and say, they seem to be slowly falling apart, without anyone to give them commands. If we have a few more people, we can work on trying to clear them out. Between whatever you did and what we did to get through the district last night, there's not as many left as there were.
It's almost unfortunate. They might have been good protection for our groups, keeping the guards out.
Nah, I'm glad they're gone. More people can move back in, get their things at the very least. Find they're dead. That would be nice.
If people are returning to the district, should we return the things that we no longer need that we took from the stores?
It's going to be a while before people return. There's still plenty of ghouls to keep people out, and then the coin guard are probably going to want to make sure everything's okay. It's also been 5 years, so
I think it's okay to hold on to for now. If you happen to run into the owner, then we could probably return it, but we don't know if they're going to be returning at all. I think Yuri would look outside and just, unless we're going to do another late night adventure, maybe we start tomorrow. Does that sound good? I wouldn't mind more rest, I'll be honest.
Sounds good.
I'll pack lunch boxes for everyone.
Lunch boxes?
Well, yeah, you have to have something to eat on your late night adventure.
Oh, nice. I think we are staying.
We're staying. Good night. Adventure tomorrow.
Yeah.
During day, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And your little team says that they'll get started on digging up information in the morning.
Thank you kindly.
Excellent.
I will pack them leftovers in a little box for their lunch tomorrow.
The leftovers? There are no leftovers.
I'll make more. I must feed them. They must be
Just throw
fed.
some loose jerky in a bag.
I must feed the youngins. They must be fed. I say as I'm probably younger than them.
Yes. If there's anything that you want to do, any conversations that you want to have before setting out for the Dark Light Bazaar in the morning.
Hey, cousin.
I am avoiding you.
Oh, something happened.
Anytime Yuri tries to talk to Lou, she is somewhere else.
I think yeah, after this kind of conversation slows down, Eurideux turns around and is like, hey, Lou.
Gone. Just gone. She is off like either using if it already exists in the house or like setting up just a very small altar to the Star Mother in like a out of the way corner and like probably spends like a solid 30 minutes praying. She totally committed anathema. Oops.
Actually, Yuri.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that you were Nephilim of some sort.
Yeah. No.
Are you just that, or like was the horn goblin thing you did?
Right. Yes. That's unexplained as of now.
Very. And I'm not judging because I did the same thing. But I do want to know, how much of that thing do you have under control?
Well, there's a reason why I'm very strictly vegetarian. I have it under control for the most time.
Is it something we should keep an eye on?
Well, it's a little unfortunate quirk I have. I don't try to interact with that part of myself for the most part. There was just a lot of dire danger last night. It's definitely dangerous when I'm in that form. To an extent, I'm mostly cognizant and mostly aware. It's just kind of letting loose, I guess. It's not a great term for it. It's quite a whole thing.
Yeah. No, I just want to be aware if, for example, you would prefer that none of the squishies are standing beside you when you're in that form.
If that tends to happen, if that does happen again, I don't know what we're going to be dealing with. If we're going to be dealing with taking down the Tyrant, probably. It's probably safer that I'm not around everyone in immediate arm's reach.
That is good to know. Does your cousin do the same?
I don't know.
Something to discover.
I'm trying to find her. I don't know where she is.
Praying.
Yeah. We'll work on that. I'll find more information. I'll help her, but I don't know what's going on.
No, it's better that we're aware of it, just in case it happens again. Full disclosure, my transformation is not an issue. I have full control of it. That is my actual form. This is the fake form. I shouldn't even say it's fake. This is just a part of it. And the only thing you have to worry about is if I get cold.
It's good. It's good to know.
Mm-hmm. Nothing bad will happen to the rest of you. It's just I will like my body's gonna do something fun called shutting down, and I'll get really lethargic, and I might just go to sleep for a while. But that's just a snake thing. That's a reptile thing.
This is, by the way, just happening at the table, right? Around
yes.
Everyone except Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to hide this information since I showed it in front of all of y'all last time, so. Okay, any more questions? No? No? Great. Good talk. I'm going I think maybe I'm going to rest a little bit. My bones tend to readjust when I go back to this form, and it hurts a lot.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm gonna go take a bath. And after my bath, I'm gonna bug Laeth.
You can go first.
Yeah, you should bug Laeth as a treat.
Bug
I
Laeth
think-
as a treat.
Everything else I have is not necessarily RP, except maybe one thing with Laeth also, but you can do it first because I'm occupied.
Cool. Passing the parcel. After my bath, I will go find Laeth and perhaps ask to speak in our room because we're roomies. And that's where the most privacy would be.
I think that Laeth is probably just hanging out she would be in the library, reading one of our book club books. I think she's still on the Devil's Bride. But we'll follow you easily enough to our room.
Okay. I am still masked, by the way. And I have not taken it off, period. Even while we slept last night. We just kind of flopped, so my mask really needs to be fucking aired out, y'all. When we're behind closed doors in our room, Gravewing will just kind of be like, okay, so, I gotta take my mask off when we sleep. And I just need your cooperation and your understanding that if you try to dox me in any way, it will be bad for you.
Noted. Would you rather I'm sure we could find a sleep mask or something that I could wear.
No. That's... Honestly, that's a bad use of our time. And I don't... I'm trying to limit who in this group gets to see this. And right now, besides the fact that you are my roommate and you're kind of the most competent for me out of the group, you also have the least amount of access to my personal life. And also you're wanted for murder, murdering your own family. So it's like, who's gonna, no offense, who's gonna believe you?
Laeth visibly preens when you say that she's the most competent in the group and ignores the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I started with that. Okay. I'm gonna take off my mask.
What do we see?
If you had any doubts that Moth Mom wasn't Asian, fuck you. That's first and foremost. Secondly, Moth Mom has I want to say like an in between of a light to medium brown skin. It's probably seen better days in terms of quality, and her face is you can assume that perhaps she would be pretty if it weren't for the fact that the right side of her, the left side of her face is horribly scarred. It is a old burn scar that runs from the top of her forehead all the way down to that side of the chin. That eye is very clearly burnt shut. And the brand is very noticeable. It's the Lamplighter brand. And it is big and it's very apparent.
Yeah, I think Laeth sort of takes you in for a moment and then almost laughs a little and says, "No, you're right. I have no idea who you or your family would be.
Yeah.
Is that, and she sort of gestures on her own face towards where the brand is. You killed them for a good reason?
Really good reason.
All right.
Also, I'm gonna need you to read things for me. I can't fucking read. That I feel like you could have guessed it, but just in case. I can't. I can read very slowly and not very well. So it's honestly way better for someone else to just read it to me.
Yeah, I can do that. Just work things, and Laeth sort of holds up the book, the smut novel that she had brought with her from the.
Are you offering to read out loud smut novels to me?
If you're interested.
I am so interested, but do you know how hard it is to ask people that? I want to know what all the fuss is.
Well, I'm about halfway through this one, but we can pick up a different one in the and start from the top. I think that they grabbed a lot of them, and Senator Wollstonecraft also had quite a collection, so we're set for a while.
This is great. Usually I have people read other things to me, but smut has been on the list. And the only person who's done that was, in fact, my sister, which is even weirder because we also did a book club thing. And if she didn't like the novel, then we just didn't read it again. So, like, there's a lot of books where I want to know the ending to, but she doesn't care for it.
Well, I can take a look through the library and the Knapp collection later today, and if you recognize any of the titles, we can get to the end.
We'll take you up on that offer. I'm going to stay in here for a little while just to air out this thing needs to be aired out so bad. It kind of has an odor. So I'm just going to stay here and do that.
It's not a long-term solution, but if you want, and Laeth will sort of rifle through the bedside table and pull out one of the cards that she received from Alouette, sort of branch it with a flourish and say, "This is prestidigitation. Could help with the smell, but it's only one use." I don't actually know if anyone in the group can cast that themselves. The cook, maybe?
Maybe. I think that's our
Clean
strongest.
hands? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's our strongest spellcaster right now. I think.
I mean, the detective is apparently some sort of legacy wizard, so...
That's true. I have no idea what the pink one does.
She collects esoterica, knows things. Just likes reading a lot.
Well, if we ever fight a librarian, I guess that's where we're going.
Hopefully it won't come to that, but I will leave you be.
Mothom's gonna nod, let you go on your business, and probably also take up the entire bed to stretch. It's literally just a stretch. It's like, all right, steak time. Fucking noodle, like just very long stretches.
I think that Laeth will really quick, drop by the kitchen where Nihil is and be like, "Hey, you do magic. Can you clean things with it?"
I don't have that spell, but I could theoretically if I did.
Okay. And leaves. That's it.
Wait, can you elaborate on why you asked that? Laeth?
She adopts a very pious posture and says, cleanliness is close to godliness. And then fully leaves again.
What the fuck?
Well, Lou, was there something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I joked in the chat, but I really was intending to have her be reading. Specifically, Lou is, I think she took like a bag full of books and found somewhere very, like just a spot of the house that nobody's really hanging out in or has been to a bunch, just somewhere very secluded. And she's sitting in there going through the spell books, going through the tarot books, just trying to accumulate knowledge. She's making flashcards using the little handbook in the first aid kit so she can get better at doing first aid under pressure, since I always have to use a hero point. She is probably like she probably grabbed Alistair first when she grabbed the magic books to be like, which magic books do you recommend and which ones do you hate the most? Because he has such strong opinions when we pick them up. And so the ones that she's finding spells from the books he recommends in the hated books, and then very, very carefully ripping out the spells from the ones he dislikes. She's trying to figure out how to do magic, which is not her strong suit. And then she also spends a lot of time modifying and organizing the tote bag so it's easier to use in combat and a little bit more like her old bag she had. And eventually she is going to rifle through the like one of like she's gonna look for like jewelry from Helena or her wife, since we were given permission to use anything here. So she's gonna try to find like a jewelry box of theirs and like a pair of earrings. And will do half of a little ritual and then with great reluctance seek out Laeth. As long as she can do it without running into her cousins.
Yeah, Yuri, where are you hanging out? Because Laeth, I think, is just leaving the kitchen.
I think I literally, Yuri is literally going to be going to rest in their room. So
perfect, easy. Then Lou will like sneak around, trying to find a moment where Laeth is like alone, without seeming like she's waiting for that. And then we'll be like, "Oh, Laeth, it is you. I didn't notice you in here. How convenient. I actually had something to tell you."
All right.
Yeah, and she is going to give you one single earring. I need you to keep this on you and wear it, and you cannot use it ever. Or if you do, at least, I don't know, you might have to tell me so I can do it again, unless I do it to someone else. It doesn't matter. It's just a thing. Don't worry about it. It's just to make battle a little easier for me and you, but you don't do spells, so it doesn't really matter. But if you did do spells, then it would be helpful.
Sort of automatically, she puts out her hand to take the earring, sort of looks at it, has no sense of magic or what she would even be looking for. It says, "I'm confused. Alouette, what is it like cursed or something? What is this?
No. So there are a pair. They come together. They have they already have shared characteristics, and then because they have been created to be a single unit, that means that if I separate them, I can use that link between them in order to make them recognize each other from a distance, if that makes sense. So that means if I were to cast a spell that normally would need to be up close, I could do it from far away for you, because they would recognize each other from anywhere. Well, specifically 30 feet, but you know what the idea is. It is the same way that I can call my bell to me using my glasses. It is because they are one and the same, but they have just been like a single soul broken into two parts. I have taken the two parts and I have linked them again.
Her hand clenches around the earring. Oh, so it's so that you can do magic without having to be near me, then. That's great, Alouette. Thank you.
Sorry. I have to recover from that for a moment. And Alouette says, yes, because sometimes you are up close to the enemy, and sometimes I'm not as close, or I'm at a different one, or the last battle I didn't move anywhere the entire time. So, you never know when you'll need to be close to that being close, or something like that.
She starts to
If you don't want to do it, I don't have to do it with you. I just thought it would be helpful.
No, it's fine. I mean, I got your message loud and clear. It started with message, so it was hard to miss, really. But thank you. I will keep this on me.
Sorry? Pardon?
The cards, Lou.
What message did you get out of that? Because... And she's thinking, did I leave a note?
I think because...
Did I write doodles on them and forget about it? What?
Because she had pulled the set out to grab the prestidigitation for Gravewing. Laeth, I think, has them still on her person and fans them out, and they're in the original order that Alouette used to slip them under the door. Message, no direction, forbidding ward, caustic blast, and prestidigitation. And Laeth sort of fans them out in her hand, and with the other pointing to each in turn. Message. Straightforward. Clear. There's a message here. No direction, forbidding ward. Know your place and stay away. Caustic blast. A bit dramatic for you, Alouette, really, but clear enough. And prestidigitation. A washing of hands. After that, you were clear when you told me that we were just strangers now, and you really didn't need to reinforce it with this, but it was creative, I guess, returning part of a gift and imparting an additional message in through that.
And Lou is flabbergasted. Mouth just agape, utterly flabbergasted by every continual word that comes out of your mouth. Each one is more baffling to her than the last one, and you have baffled her very deeply in the past, and this is somehow more baffling than that. And there are so many parts that she wants to address, but the part that clicks in her brain is What do you mean you gave them to me? I thought they were from Yuri.
Laeth looks a little caught out. Yeah, I mean, Yuri asked me to slip them into your room, so I, physically gave them to you, but it was his thought.
Deception
Well,
roll.
best us. Please let me roll against this. Ooh! Ooh! Hey, guess what? We have paired link now. That doesn't do anything for this, but I'm gonna say it does. I got a 28. 28 perception.
24.
Yes!
Yeah, Alouette, you know that's bullshit.
I suppose that is why you were in the room. I didn't piece it together at the time because I was a little distracted, but alright. First off, there is no message. You are reading literally into something that is not there at all. I picked 5 that were on the top of the deck because I thought they would be useful for you, and I did not want to hoard all of my good fortune. I almost gave you the other ones too, because I thought, oh, there's love shop objects. It will be so good for her. But then I was like, oh no, maybe they will think it is too much after we have just restarted our acquaintanceship. And so then I said, no, I'll just do the 5, because then it is easy and it will help them out in battle sometimes, maybe, I guess not. And then secondly, I would like to know... I was under the impression that this was a good idea starting over, because it would be unfair to ask you to know someone that you have not spoken to in 6 years. Was I incorrect?
Laeth is 1, a Dampier, and 2, has sort of pretty, not super dark, but pretty dark skin. But there is still a bright flush, I think, on her cheeks as she is completely caught out and caught off guard at all of this. But the bringing us back to the stranger's conversation does get her on more even ground, even footing. You're right. People can change a lot in 6 years, but from what I've seen over the last 2 days, Alouette, you're still... You haven't that much, and I guess I felt like I did still know you. Gods know I kept up with your news of your family. But no, you're right. We should have. It's unfair to not start over.
I am surprised to hear all of that. I did not know you kept up with anything. Especially after all of the times I tried to talk to you. And was not received. But I suppose my family has always been a little bit more important than me. Well, this has cleared up a lot of things that I have wondered for a long time. So, thank you for speaking with me, and I will endeavor to be better and different. And then she's gonna go.
Can I I grab her arm? I want to grab her arm.
Yeah, sure.
Instinct, not a thing that she would do normally, but just hearing the way that Lou's voice is starting to break and seeing Alouette be the one walking away this time, Laeth grabs her. It was never about your family, Alouette, or about you. There was never anything wrong with you. There's nothing that you need to be better at. You're already... I mean, it's... You heard Akos last night. My mother is so tied up in the Unbroken, and it's not as if I kept my hands clear of that. I couldn't keep my hands clean of that if I wanted. If there was any hope for Nadia to. So I just thought it was for the best. You deserve so much. You deserve everything. And just so much more than I could have given you.
Why have you never said any of that? You had so many chances. I reached out so many times. It's not like it has been a short amount of time, Laeth.
Because I know you, Alouette, and I know that you wouldn't have accepted that as a reason. And I couldn't think of a better one. I couldn't think of one that wouldn't have you blaming yourself for it. And I thought that if I just didn't respond, then you would realize that it was just me, and it was a fault in me and not a fault in you, and you were better off for it. So
well, that did not work.
Then I apologize.
I think a lot of tension goes out of Lou because she has closure finally. And she says, I appreciate the explanation. Finally. Even if this is not, perhaps, it is understandable. Even if it is not great. But I guess none of it really matters anymore, because we're all going to die in 7 months, and if we somehow survive that, then I might die after that, so it's fine.
I'm sorry. What?
I don't know. I have to talk to you. I don't really want to.
Is this about their change in that last fight? I mean, they're still alive.
Yes. They are. But I have a feeling that is not how it always goes. But I don't need to bother you with this, because you have plenty of other things to be worried about and deal with. Like your sister and your mother and all of that. So I have things to do. I think probably. Thank you for talking. Bye.
Well, that certainly went in a direction.
Need y'all to know that I rolled for stealth to see if I could eavesdrop, and I got a nat 20. So I've been here the whole time.
Let's
Mom
go.
had a snack, listened to all this, and when the conversation actually seemed like it was gonna end, left first. That's what my nat 20 gives me.
Yeah.
Wait, like openly, like we're there, and like made yourself known when you left.
When
you sneak out.
Please.
I make myself known when I leave. I go,
Yes.
and then leave.
Lou's gonna go die of shame somewhere.
Well, I think that'll bring us to the end of episode 1. So,
Oh shit.
Nick, why don't you take us out?
Hello everyone, thank you for listening to another wonderful episode of Goblins and Gays. If you like what we do here, feel free to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on everything at Goblins and Gays. Support us on Patreon, and honestly, I am really tired. Go eat people, it's cannibalism's fun, you know? Live your best life, and stay safe. Goodbye. Fuck off.
Consuming. Dark prevails, but my heart keeps on beating. Take my hand, we must face it again. Yes, terrible some notes. After days, new come, mortal, to be honest, time to pass the moment. Party.